Welcome Jacquie Jordan, Emmy-nominated television producer, author of Get On TV, and the recent book Heartfelt Marketing, Allowing the Universe to Be Your Business Partner, founder of TVGuestpert.com.
Hi, I'm Jacquie Jordan, presented here by TVGuestpert.com. Happy Friday afternoon, and thank you so much for tuning in on your drive home here on AM 1290 News Press Radio Santa Barbara. The video component of our show and our program can be seen on Sony's Blip TV as well as TVGuestpert.com. We are the industry talk show with the experts, so happy to have you here. And you can also hear us again tonight at 10 p.m. and Sundays at 5. We are sponsored by CX2wristband.com. You probably see everybody in yoga studios wearing these energy wristbands. They're non-transdermal and non-pharmaceutical, but more importantly, they also have a pain chip product, which is kind of like a little tiny clear postage stamp for those of you driving in the car listening to us, and it helps eliminate pain drug-free. So rave reviews for anybody who's ever tried them, and they work on energy and vibrations, and all I know is that whenever I've needed them, they've worked for me. We have a really great show with us today, and I am looking forward to talking about it with you. We are talking about some of the mid-season replacements, what went on in the fall season, some of the shows that came, went, and we've got a great lineup. We're going to have Emmy, the editor-in-chief of Emmy magazine. We're also going to have guest-spert and media journalist Sandra Clark of Hollywood Life and also formerly of Star Magazine. And finally, we're going to wrap the hour with parenting guest-spert Cindy Bunin, who's got the new book coming out called Parenting Unplugged. And what is brilliant about what she's doing is she's going to comment on the recent pediatrician report from the American Academy Association of Pediatrics that says, believe it or not, that watching television under 2 years old is not good for their health. So joining us on the line right now is Juan Morales. He is the editor-in-chief of Emmy magazine. Juan, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
I am so glad that Alexia introduced us to you, and so thrilled to have you here today. You're the director of Emmy magazine, of membership publications. I happen to say I look forward to Emmy magazine. That is like one classy industry magazine to get. You must have a lot of fun working with that, with Emmy magazine for the Academy.
Definitely, and thank you. I appreciate hearing that. We have a small staff, but we are very proud of the work we do, and I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic because what I really love about it is it focuses on television, it highlights television, it highlights all the players in TV, not just from the actors, but from the costume designers to the show producers, the show writers. It's like really fantastic, and I love also the picture section.
Well, that's a reflection of our membership. The Television Academy has 28 peer groups, and they do include things like you said. There's production designers, there's film editors, there are stunt people, as well as top-of-the-line actors and directors and so forth.
Yeah, I actually, just between you and me, I enjoy the pictures, the red carpet pictures in Emmy magazine almost more than People magazine. it's like the real behind the scenes. It's like really how it happens.
Right.
So.
Thank you.
So there were in the beginning of the season there were a lot of big fancy billboards all over the city of Los Angeles, and with all the new shows that came, and not a lot of them stuck. What is your take on some of the shows that came, or why it came? What is some of that you have witnessed or liked and didn't see and has come and gone?
I would say that there have been, I think, about 5 cancellations that I can remember, but the 2 biggest ones that the first one was pretty prominent was the NBC's Playboy Club, which I think maybe had 2, if not 3 episodes, and then more recently ABC's Charlie's Angels, which was definitely, like you said, as far as billboards and marketing exposure, was supported quite a bit by the network, and for some reason that didn't take. I'd say that with regard to Playboy Club, they had, I think, having spoken to some people who were involved in making it, I would say that they were aware that they might have had some challenges just based on the brand of Playboy, period. There's some people who find that appealing, and there's quite a bit of others, however, who find it rather off-putting, and the irony, I think, was that while it was maybe an attractive brand primarily to men, the stories and the tone of the show was rather soap opera, a lot of women. It may have been stuff that would have maybe been more appealing to women had they turned on the television and stayed with it, but they frankly didn't.
That's actually a really astute observation for the show, because I think I hadn't thought of it that way, but I think you're right. I think it marketed to a different audience than it was actually written for.
Right, but a lot of the shows these days are approached with the idea that TV, as in just watching it at home, is only one component. You want to try to achieve a success that will be something that they can exploit on multiple platforms, whether they sell it internationally, whether they put it online, whether they can do things like, for example, the case of Glee. It's a show which became the springboard for recordings, for live performances, for another reality show based on it. It's become a massive brand with like a lot of components to it. If Playboy Club had worked, certainly the upside could have been rather big. Of course it didn't, but I think that was probably part of what they had in mind, that maybe it's a risk, but if it's a risk that pays off, it could pay off a lot, and it did not.
Yeah, and I think they also were playing off for the Playboy Club of the old era genre kind of coming back in terms of scripted development. With like Pan Am and off of the success of Mad Men, I think there was this kind of tie-in that they were trying to hit with the timing, the period.
Yes, I definitely so, and that probably was something that would superficially appear to be more like following a trend rather than trying to take advantage of something initially like Mad Men did, but also working against Playboy Club, certainly with a topic like the Playboy Club, which is immediately associated with sex and so forth. The network television restrictions would prohibit them from really taking it to a place that it may have been a better fit for cable, for example, and then they could have had more latitude.
I grew up in Sparta, New Jersey, and the next township over was Vernon, New Jersey, and there was actually a Playboy Club, and it was like, we were just all like, whoo, Vernon Valley, if you're going to Vernon, you're going to the Playboy Club.
Right. Right, but you're right about the period, and Pan Am is still on the air, but it's having some ratings challenges. I think the network believes in it, and I think they're going to stick with it, but that one, we'll see.
Juan, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and if you'll stay with us, I'd love to hear your take on some of the comedies that came and went. I'm Jackie Jordan, presented by TVGuestpert.com, and we're the industry talk show with the experts. We'll be right back.
The Jackie Jordan Show with host Jackie Jordan on TVGuestpert.com. Radio KZSB, 1290 AM Santa Barbara and worldwide.
Alex Detail was a child genius who saved the world from the evil harvesters. But a decade later, this mysterious alien force has returned, and Alex is no longer a prodigy. Now, in order to save the world again, he must survive his kidnapping, find his evil clone, and get his ship to the planet Pluto, where he will uncover the universe's ultimate power. Alex Detail's Revolution, a thrilling new novel by Darren Campo. Buy online or wherever books are sold.
This segment was brought to you by CX2wristband.com. That's CX2wristband.com, where you can get drug-free relief from drug-free pain patches, drug-free sleep patches, and other drug-free products for allergies, sleep, energy, and pain. These little drug-free stickers work on the body's meridians like acupuncture without the needles. CX2wristband.com has the most powerful energy wristband in the world. Just go to CX2wristband.com.
The Jackie Jordan Show, presented by TVGuestpert.com on News Press Radio KZSB 1290 AM Santa Barbara.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you're in the car, we'll be here tonight again at 10 p.m. and we repeat Sundays at 5 p.m. And we are in the middle of our show. We're talking with Juan Morales, the editor-in-chief of Emmy magazine, definitely an industry insider magazine if you were lucky enough to be Academy member and to receive it. And we're talking about some of the mid-season replacements of the shows, some of them that worked, some of them that didn't. Juan, what did you think about some of the comedies?
Well, the two comedies that are no longer on the air was a show called How to Be a Gentleman on CBS and a show called Free Agents on NBC. And neither of them were really with big stars for one thing. Not that that's a prerequisite, but How to Be a Gentleman was with Kevin Dillon, who had just come off Entourage, and an actor named David Hornsby, and it was about a guy who was writing a column for a kind of stuffy men's magazine. How to Be a Gentleman was the name of the column, and the magazine, I guess, got acquired, and suddenly they needed to become a little bit more macho and conventionally masculine in a way that he wasn't comfortable. So a guy who was his personal trainer, who's the more roguish male, played by Kevin Dillon, was trying to teach him how to be a man. And it didn't have a lot of appeal as far as from the upfronts, from when people were first seeing them. The pilot was not one of the ones that was talked about with great enthusiasm, and I feel like CBS has so much strong comedy, and I think they tried to build on an audience there coming off of Big Bang Theory, and they have the ability to do that because they have some really strong shows, but they also similarly don't need to stay with things very long, and I think that they are just as efficiently run as any network, and I think that they probably examined it and they made a quick choice and moved on.
Oh, how about the comedian Wendy, who has those 2 shows on?
Oh, Whitney,
coming, yes.
Yes, well, no, those are still on the air.
Yeah, I know, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Talk about, hitting the ball out of the park twice.
Yeah, she has been a stand-up and did a lot of the Comedy Central roasts, and she had a following, certainly in the business, and people who were kind of fans of alternative contemporary comedy. She is the star and creator of a show called Whitney, which is on 9:30 on NBC on Thursday. Last night. And then she is the co-creator and executive producer of a show called Two Broke Girls on CBS that she's not in, but she and Michael Patrick King, who was from Sex and the City, did it together. And that one is considered one of the big hits of this comedy season. That and New Girl on Fox, I would say, are the 2 comedies that appear to be the strongest out of the box. And Whitney's hanging in there, and she's had a great experience this fall for sure.
Yeah, do you want to be Whitney this year? That's for sure.
And then that's another one where NBC has really done its work marketing. I drive home on the 101 freeway, and there's an exit. I don't know if it's Vine and Cahuenga, but there's a gigantic billboard right there, and there's a number of them around the city. They're really getting the word out.
To me, she just came out of nowhere. I know she did it, but she just she looks like an overnight success. And
yes.
Of course, I know it's years in the making to be an overnight success, and she certainly has done it.
Right.
A lot of the movie stars moving to television, but that hasn't completely helped some of the shows.
Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. I'm actually, I think we'll see a little bit more of that right now with mid-season, because the shows that are coming out after the first of the year, there are a few cases where people who are pretty well associated with movies are going to be on shows. ABC has a show called Missing with Ashley Judd, and that's the first series that she's going to be in. And NBC has an adaptation of The Firm, which was the John Grisham novel and the Tom Cruise, that has Josh Lucas, who's certainly better associated with movies. And also on Fox, Kiefer Sutherland is coming back, although I guess he became, certainly it was a movie star, became very well established with 24, and he's coming back to Fox with a show called Touch, and I think those are particularly closely watched.
And what do you think what is going to be the most anticipated ensemble show of the season?
Of the fall season or the mid-season?
Well, both.
All right. Well, I'd say that right now, the shows that I think are pretty well considered to be the successes so far clearly are the comedy New Girl on Fox, which is sort of an ensemble, but it's really driven by Zooey Deschanel, the lead, and if she didn't work, it wouldn't work. So, and then there is also Person of Interest, which is a CBS show on Thursdays, and that is Jim Caviezel and Michael Emerson for Lost. Again, not particularly a big ensemble. When you think of ensembles, you think of things like Grey's Anatomy or things like Lost, and for example, which had these intricate characters. I'd say that the shows right now that have come out of the fall appear to be fewer people, in the sense that the ones that people are tuning in to see are not the whole big group.
So let me ask you one, if you don't mind. What's your personal pick this season?
Of that I think is going to come.
Either one. Because obviously you've got access to it all.
Here's what I'll say 2 things. First of all, probably the most I think interesting thing that I've seen right now recently that just premiered is not on network TV. It's on Stars Cable, which is a small pay cable channel that had a Spartacus series, but it's a show called Boss, and Kelsey Grammer is the lead, and he is playing the mayor of Chicago, and he is in an entire. If you imagine him as Frasier, this is as 180 of a departure as you can imagine. It's very dramatic. It's very intense. That really does have an ensemble actually also, and it's just so different, and he commands it, and it's also got a lot of political intrigue, and he's a guy with a secret. He's got a neurological disorder that's going to be degenerative, and he's trying to keep it together when he's the mayor of a big city. It's really Gus Van Sant, who's the Oscar-nominated filmmaker, is one of the executive producers, and he directed the pilot. I think it's a really if people can find it and take the time to look for it, and you can see it for free right now on the Stars website. It's worth checking out.
You have to say, you have to give a hands up to Stars Network, a small network, and then who's also putting it on their website. That's really, it just seems so hopeful and inspiring that
yes.
that they're putting out really good, entertaining content and competing against the big dogs.
Yeah. Now, as far as what's coming mid-season, I think that what is a really a lot of hope invested in is a show called Smash, and that is going to be on NBC. And NBC, of all the networks, certainly could use a success. They're the number 4 network and have had some real difficult goes the last couple of years. But there is a lot of people excited about this show. It is set in the world of Broadway. It is about the mounting of a musical about the life of Marilyn Monroe, and it's got people in it like Catherine McPhee, who was the runner-up on American Idol 3 or 4 years ago as the young ingenue who's vying for the role. Deborah Messing from Will and Grace is back as one of the leads. Angelica Houston is in it, which is coming to a series role, is interesting, and there's a lot of familiar faces, but also just the atmosphere and the music and the production is and also just if you're looking for some footprint of quality, Steven Spielberg is among the executive producers. There's a lot of talent and a lot of interesting elements. We'll find out is unlike Glee, there is the high school atmosphere is maybe more accessible. The world of Broadway isn't something that the whole country gets to experience.
Yes.
Also, Marilyn Monroe is a star, certainly as an icon, but among younger people, it would be interesting to see if that is an element that is embraced. So there's things that work for it, certainly, and there's certain things that we'll see if they work against it. But I think it's really, as far as just the pilot, it's really well done. It's very engaging. I think it's got great elements. I liked it a lot, and I'm hoping that it works for them because A, because it's good, and B, because it would be a really important achievement for NBC to establish a success.
That's so fantastic. I really appreciate your time today, Juan Morales, Editor-in-Chief of Emmy Magazine. Juan, thank you so much for sharing your insight and your feedback, and it was great to hear about it.
Of course.
And again, we love the magazine.
Thank you. Well, we'd love to talk to you anytime.
Love that. Thank you so much. Up next, our next guest is a guest expert and a media journalist who was on the Father Albert Show this past summer defending tabloid journalism. And we're going to get her take on sometimes why celebrity stories outside sometimes interfere with their celebrity status inside the programs that they work on. We'll be right back.
The Jackie Jordan Show with host Jackie Jordan on TVGuestpert.com. Radio KZSB, 1290 AM Santa Barbara and worldwide.
Alex Detail was a child genius who saved the world from the evil harvesters. But a decade later, this mysterious alien force has returned, and Alex is no longer a prodigy. Now, in order to save the world again, he must survive his kidnapping, fight his evil clone, and get his ship to the planet Pluto, where he will uncover the universe's ultimate power. Alex Detail's Revolution, a thrilling new novel by Darren Campo. Buy online or wherever books are sold.
This segment was brought to you by CX2Wristband.com. That's CX2Wristband.com, where you can get drug-free relief from drug-free pain patches, drug-free sleep patches, and other drug-free products for allergies, sleep, energy, and pain. These little drug-free stickers work on the body's meridians like acupuncture without the needles. CX2Wristband.com has the most powerful energy wristband in the world. Just go to CX2Wristband.com.
The Jackie Jordan Show, presented by TVGuestpert.com on News Plus Radio KZSB 1290 AM Santa Barbara.
Hi, I'm Jackie Jordan. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be repeating here tonight at 10, Sunday at 5 p.m., and our video component runs on Sony's Blip TV, as well as the homepage of TVGuestpert.com. Our sponsor is CX2Wristband.com. And they've got a holographic pain chip that the executive producer, Richard Wayner, my partner, uses all the time for chronic neck pain and back pain that he has to deal with. So personal testimonials that pain chip works non-transdermal, non-pharmaceutical. That was me. So joining us now, we've been talking about mid-season replacements with Juan Morales in the last two segments from Emmy magazine, and now joining us on the line, and she is beautiful, hot, and vivacious, and she's got a lot to say, and she is in the trenches as writing all sorts of stories. She used to write for Star magazine. We're privileged to have her as a television guest expert, and now she writes for HollywoodLife.com, and she gets to see it all up close and personal because she writes about it. Please join us with Sandra Clark on the phone with us. How are you, Sandra?
Great. Well, thank you for that beautiful introduction.
Oh, we love your energy. We love what you do. We love your stories. I mean, you're definitely, you're on the pulse of this, and I just thought you did such a fantastic, Father Albert performance this summer when you were talking and standing up for basically tabloid journalism.
Yeah, we can't live without it. We can't live with it, and we can't live without it.
Yeah, and you were not going to let his morals dictate, your work.
Well, it comes with the property. Look at Ashton Kutcher. He was caught in a scandal, and it's done wonders for him. And people do ask, has his personal life and the mess and drama that he's been involved with, has that affected the ratings of 2.5 Men? And it seems like the old saying is true. There is no such thing as bad publicity, because the ratings for 2.5 Men have been way up there.
Yeah, that's because we were just talking about mid-season replacements, and we were wondering, how that affected it, or what it looks like from your point of view. And you have been able to cover a lot of celebrities whose kind of their outside stories become bigger than their actual work.
Yeah, and that's very true. I know that you were just talking about Kiefer Sutherland is coming back with a show, and he was a huge success on the hit show 24, but he had a lot of personal demons that he was battling with, of course, with being arrested for in public intoxication.
Yeah, they just shut the show down, for a little bit.
Yeah, but it never affected the show negatively. I mean, he has a huge fan base, and so what we're talking about here are celebrities who are bigger than the shows that they star in. So I think you're going to have a lot of people tuning into 2.5 Men who never would have tuned into it in the past, but are because they want to see a glimpse of Ashton Kutcher, who's on the cover and continues to be on the cover of every tabloid magazine because of his, affair. And is he staying with Demi? Is he breaking up with Demi? So there's a lot to be said about these celebrities and the shows that they star in and their personal lives and how it affects them.
I know that obviously that happened for Paris Hilton, but right before she launched her reality TV show that she did with Nicole Richie, and obviously that worked fantastically well for that actual TV show. I think they were on for about 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they were doing that.
I mean, you got to have the talent. Paris. It was successful for Paris Hilton because it was new. It was reality TV. It wasn't what she was doing. It was new. But the way it's going to stay is if you're talented. And the thing with Ashton Kutcher and Kiefer Sutherland is that they're both really talented. So that's why they stay afloat. You look at the ratings. Dancing with the Stars is huge ratings. I mean, last week it had 18 million viewers, and a lot of that is basically because of the celebrities that they have on the show, or the personalities per se. like Chaz Bono. Everyone was in awe that Chaz Bono was going to be on this show and wanted to tune in.
Yeah.
And, you know, and they did tune in.
And the peripheral story of that story was the Cher piece and the Cher reaction to it, and, you know, and what does Cher think of Chaz Bono dancing, and, you know, everybody really wanted to know what she thought about, which she kind of gave up later on in the Anderson Cooper interview, when she said, you know, it's still the same child, still my same child.
It's still the same child. So I think another celebrity out there, J-Lo, you know, American Idol has done wonders for her, and now she's even bigger than the show.
Yeah.
You know, she's even bigger than the show. Her breakup with Mark Anthony, you know, brings viewers in, makes it really popular. People are going to want to see, how is she on the new season of American Idol? How does she look? How is she handling things? And another good example is Simon. Simon could do anything, and people would watch the show. You know, he's such a huge draw. People want to watch the X Factor first and foremost because Simon's on it.
And I thought it was like total coup to have Paula Abdul back.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Genius.
Because they have such great chemistry.
Which their chemistry was kind of a different kind of chemistry when they were in their American Idol role. But now that they're doing the X Factor, it's kind of more of like a loving, playful chemistry as opposed to more of an antagonistic chemistry.
Yeah.
That they used to display.
It makes you wonder too about these shows. Like, you know, you remember these are TV shows, and they have it's about chemistry, it's about drama. Right now on Dancing with the Stars, there's a lot of drama on it because of name calling, especially Chaz was felt like he was insulted because he was always being referred to as an animal. And then you wonder if this is all a drama ploy to bring in the ratings. The same thing with Simon and Paula. You know that their chemistry is going to bring in the ratings.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, and they have some substantial sponsorship on that show. It's like unbelievable.
Oh, it's huge. And the same thing with Glee. I mean, Glee's really smart because they bring in those guest stars like Gwyneth Paltrow, and it does huge. So I'm curious who they're going to have on the show, you know, this coming season. I know you were also talking about new shows, replacement shows that have done really well. Well, Zooey Deschanel and New Girl has done really well because she has a following.
Yeah. People
aren't really tuning in because, I mean, I'm sure the show is great, but they're more so tuning in because of Zoe.
Yeah. 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 So the keeping, you know, for the celebs that keep their fan base, whether they're acting out or, you know, just keeping in touch with their fan base, it pays off regardless.
Oh, look at Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
I mean, she has a huge fan base. I still not quite sure why, but she has a huge fan base, and you know another person who has a huge fan base is Snooki, and Jersey Shore is the #2, the second largest show on cable that people tune into. So Snooki could pretty much do anything now, and people are going to watch her because she's Snooki, and she's on the cover of tabloid magazines. J-Lo's on the cover of tabloid magazines. Yeah. Ashton Kutcher's on the cover of tabloid magazines, and of course Chaz Bono is.
Yeah, isn't that unbelievable? I just saw a random woman walking down the street with a T-shirt on the back of it. It said Snooki, and it just cracked me up. I was like, did I ever think, you know? And you know, kudos to E and Style Network, both Comcast-owned, you know, networks, because the Kim Kardashian wedding on E was like their highest rated show, and of course Jersey Shore's on Style Network. So. You know,
exactly.
They know
and you
how
can't,
to.
You know, people love to hate celebrities too. Like Kim Kardashian, probably the most. But you can't blame her. She's a great businesswoman because whether or not her marriage is fake or not, people are interested. Again, we don't know quite why. Probably because it's more entertaining than watching the dismal news in the economy. But it's fun to see like. Who sticks around, and we'll see what's going to happen with Charlie Sheen. You know, his anger management was just announced that it's going to air on FX, and people are going to want to watch that because of Charlie Sheen. I never watched 2.5 Men in my life, and the only reason I tuned in was because of Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm going to watch Anger Management is because of Charlie Sheen. And, of course, he graced the cover of every tabloid magazine the entire year of 2011. So we have a lot to look forward to.
Well,
again, and yeah.
I was going to say so much for good behavior and coloring between the lines, you know.
Well, I mean, exactly. Look at Lindsay Lohan. I'm surprised she doesn't have a show, but she's being rewarded for her crazy behavior by Playboy giving her $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just goes to show you that in Hollywood, it's just, there is no such thing as bad publicity.
No, that's exactly what, and you're the first-hand witness to that. Sandra, thank you so much for joining us, reporter for Hollywood Life, and you also contribute for Hollywood.com, and you also Life and Style magazine. You've got some fantastic credits. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, and we'll keep you posted on the new tabloid drama stories that come out.
Thank you so much. Coming up next, we're going to find out that there was actually an official study that said children under 2 should not be watching television. Did we really need a study for that? But we have one. So coming up next, stay right with us.
The Jackie Jordan Show with host Jackie Jordan on TVGuestpert.com. Radio KZSB, 1290 AM Santa Barbara and worldwide.
Alex Detail was a child genius who saved the world from the evil harvesters. But a decade later, this mysterious alien force has returned, and Alex is no longer a prodigy. Now, in order to save the world again, he must survive his kidnapping, fight his evil clone, and get his ship to the planet Pluto, where he will uncover the universe's ultimate power. Alex Detail's Revolution, a thrilling new novel by Darren Campo. Buy online or wherever books are sold.
This segment was brought to you by CX2wristband.com. That's CX2wristband.com, where you can get drug-free relief from drug-free pain patches, drug-free sleep patches, and other drug-free products for allergies, sleep, energy, and pain. These little drug-free stickers work on the body's meridians like acupuncture without the needles. CX2wristband.com has the most powerful energy wristband in the world. Just go to CX2wristband.com.
The Jackie Jordan Show, presented by TVGuestpert.com on News Plus Radio KZSB 1290 AM Santa Barbara.
Welcome back. I'm Jackie Jordan. Thank you so much for joining us on your drive home today. We repeat here tonight at 10 p.m. and Sundays at 5 p.m. and our video component can be found on Sony's Blip Television as well as the homepage of TVGuestpert.com or Facebook TVGuestpert.com. We are sponsored by the holographic pain chip that helps get you out of pain, cx2wristband.com if you want to find out more about it. And I just want to thank our fantastic staff that helps us put the show together. Producer Stephanie Cobian, executive producer Richard Wayner, Dylan Haley, the executive in charge of production here, Les Carroll, our general manager, and Richard Dugan, our studio producer. Fantastic team. Thank you so much. Now we've got on the phone joining us is guestpert and author of Parenting Unplugged, Cindy Bunin. Cindy, how are you?
Fine, Jackie. How are you today, honey?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us from Florida on our drive time show here. And I just love the fact that there is a study that now says watching TV for children is not good. Isn't that exactly what you've been saying for a long time?
Absolutely, and to see it, actually, in print, which, there have been studies in the past, but this one, I think, came out, yesterday saying that it's, bad for children to be exposed to the actual television screen as well as the screen of all the other, little doodads that we have, from iPads to iPods to phones to everything else. And what they mean, what's bad about it is that, in the screen itself, this exposure to the screen can cause, developmental issues, learning issues, sleep problems, and now they're telling parents, not the toddlers, because the toddlers can't listen, but the parents, stop with the television already, enough. It's crazy.
And also, if I read the study correctly, it's secondhand television is also harmful to the child.
Like secondhand smoke. I mean, you're exposed to the noise, to the sound, constantly. Even if a child is trying to fall asleep, with you in your bed, which a lot of parents do, the family bed, that's going to affect them as well. And it's amazing that in this country, actually, 1/3 of all 3-year-olds will have televisions in their bedroom. What happened to bedtime stories?
Right.
It's unbelievable. Our society has changed so much, which is, one of the reasons I wrote the book Parenting Unplugged, that'll be out in January, which is about teaching parents how to unplug themselves and their children from all the technology we have out there.
And I must say that you're actually Dr. Bunin. You're a family therapist in Florida. So you've been saying this for a while. Why do you think that parents put television sets in the bedrooms of 3-year-olds?
So they don't have to deal with their 3-year-olds.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's face facts. Society has changed. Let's face facts. We have 2 parents working. The children are, usually in daycare or school. Then they come home. They're exhausted. They have to deal with homework, the child, bath time, dinner time, food shopping. They are exhausted. So what's the easiest thing to do? Put your child in bed, put the TV on, and put on, a children's video. And really what it does, it just zones the child out. They don't really, a lot of them really can't understand, what's going on. And then they miss that warmth of the mommy or the daddy laying in bed with them reading the bedtime story, which is honestly, Jackie, the most precious time, I think, in a child's day and a parent's day is to just snuggle with your little one and be able to read a bedtime story and have that nurturing and that bonding.
Yeah, and it's like such beautiful cocooning. It's like natural cocooning to have that, that day-end closure time.
Exactly.
I remember being a toddler myself and watching a TV commercial that still runs, the scrubbing bubbles.
Yes.
And there are these little animated bubbles that would scrub the bathtub. And I went running to the bathroom when I saw my mom take the can out because I honestly thought a little animated cartoons were going to be sprayed onto the bathtub. And I remember being so disoriented when I just saw foam. I was like, where are the little moving scrub brushes?
Well, because that's how we understand things. We don't have multi-level, intelligence at that point. It's like, I want to see those little animated things. That's very, very funny. It's really true. What kind of educational? There are some educational. I'm not bashing television. I'm not even bashing technology because a couple of years ago I was the spokesperson for Panasonic to talk about how important family time is and how you can use technology, in a very positive way. But for little children, parents, we have to get unplugged. You have to find ways, to cocoon, to bond, to be with your children, to be in their face, to understand, what they're thinking, what they're feeling. And when I'm in the mall and I see, a mom, on the phone texting and her little kid's pulling in her leg while the other siblings running down the mall somewhere, we need to start paying attention to what's going on out there. We're not, and we need to get very present and start getting unplugged.
Dr. Bunin, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, I would love to hear some of the tips from Parenting Unplugged, because if you take away the TV, then the onus is going to be on mommy and daddy to entertain. So I want to hear what your advice is for that when we return.
The Jackie Jordan Show with host Jackie Jordan on TVGuestpert.com. Radio KZSB, 1290 AM Santa Barbara and worldwide.
Every day I fight for all my future, some things, 1,000 little wars.
Alex Detail was a child genius who saved the world from the evil harvesters. But a decade later, this mysterious alien force has returned, and Alex is no longer a prodigy. Now, in order to save the world again, he must survive his kidnapping, fight his evil clone, and get his ship to the planet Pluto, where he will uncover the universe's ultimate power. Alex Detail's Revolution, a thrilling new novel by Darren Campo. Buy online or wherever books are sold.
This segment was brought to you by CX2wristband.com. That's CX2wristband.com, where you can get drug-free relief from drug-free pain patches, drug-free sleep patches, and other drug-free products for allergies, sleep, energy, and pain. These little drug-free stickers work on the body's meridians like acupuncture without the needles. CX2wristband.com has the most powerful energy wristband in the world. Just go to CX2wristband.com.
The Jackie Jordan Show, presented by TVGuestpert.com on News Press Radio KZSB 1290 AM Santa Barbara.
Hi, I'm Jackie Jordan, and this show is sponsored by CX2wristband.com. It's the holographic pain chip that helps you get through the day without having to take drugs or medication. They're like little postage stamps that you put on the spot when you're hurting, and you just need to be hydrated, and I love that. You just have to drink water for them to work. Anyway, join us again tonight at 10 p.m. and Sundays at 5. Our video component can be seen on Sony's Blip television, and you can find us on Facebook at tvguestbert.com or on the homepage of tvguestbert.com. And we've been talking this hour all about television, from the mid-season replacements to does the celebrity of a Hollywood star work against them or for them on the show that they're actually on. And we're wrapping it up with a new study, and I believe it was by the American Association of Pediatrics that says
That's right.
Did I get that right, Dr. Bunin?
Yep, you certainly did.
And we're in the middle of a conversation with Dr. Cindy Bunin from Florida, who is talking to us about her new book, Parenting Unplugged, because of exactly what this whole study is about, getting unplugged with your children. So now the onus is on the parent then to entertain, and that's really hard because I know that we didn't have this when I was in the car, but when growing up. But now you can put the video player in the back seat of the car. I know you can turn the cell phone over to the child so they can watch cartoons there when they're in the waiting rooms of wherever they are, or the mall, or the store, or the restaurant. I mean, there's just so much. It's like the possibility of entertaining a child with a small screen, a big screen, or a medium-sized screen is endless. So what do we do? What do parents do?
Well, the problem is we should be their TV screen, and we're not. You know, we need to be their TV screen. Our face is the TV screen to them. And what I tell parents is they do not need to spend a lot of money to do activities with their children. What I like to start out telling parents is that they can do fun things with their children during the natural daily routines of the day and not even realize it. I mean, for example, on the way to getting dressed in the morning, okay? And usually getting dressed in the morning, you know, is horrifying. A lot of parents do, believe it or not, while their kid is having breakfast. I have witnessed it. Put the television on so they can watch the TV shows in the morning while they're eating breakfast, getting ready for school. Well, how about putting the TV off? How about everybody together sitting at the table, making breakfast together, making it a chore, making it fun, getting dressed in the morning, having a contest to see who can get dressed more quickly or put on the craziest outfit or see who can match the best. And then on the way to school in the car, you ask your children during the day, even the little ones, what are you doing today? Tell me about your day. Instead of putting on the video, see how many red cars you can count outside, or how many animals you see in the street, or how many trees, or talk about what you're seeing as you're driving along, and teaching children about the world around them. You know, the car is one of the most precious times you can have with your children because you're sitting in the front and they're sitting in the back and there's no eye contact, and they may talk to you about things that they would feel maybe insecure about talking to you about face-to-face. That car time is some of the best time. When you pick them up from school, same thing. Talk to them. Ask them what they did during their day. Do not put on, you know, the video so you can talk on your cell phone while, you know, you need to connect with your child, and we're not connecting with our children.
It's you know, I just know, speaking for myself, and I work in the industry and I'm around the stimulation. I can only take so much before I'm in absolute overload. I feel like I'm a static electricity thunderbolt of just too much information, and I have to pull it, just turn it off. So I can't imagine, a child having, not being able to get away or take a break from it at some point, when it's just going on 24/7. And I think the study said that they actually, next to sleep, they spend that much time secondary behind the screen.
Behind the screen, and that by the time they're 70 years old, this generation will be they would have watched 7 to 10 years of television. Oh my God!
And when you say it like that, then we're also becoming we're stepping out of reality.
Really, it's the truth. We really are. And I say to parents, what do you do? Go to the park at the end of the day, read a story, do some artwork, put some music on, and dance around the house. This doesn't cost anything. We have to get back to basics, and it's so easy. It's so easy. I mean, in my book, I gave 365 activities, one a day, just one simple activity to do with a day. I tell parents, if you can plug into your child for a half hour a day, that's all I ask, even 10 minutes, because you know what? I remember when I was a little girl, and my dad worked, really hard, came home at the end of the day, and he had to have dinner. But I knew that every single night before I went to bed, he would read me a bedtime story. And I tell you that was the highlight of my day. I waited because I knew that was my time to connect with my dad. That just rings so true in my heart. I always remembered that. And if parents can remember that children cherish us. I mean, we are the greatest gift we can give our child. We are, our time. Yeah. And we don't realize that. That's all they want from us is our time.
Yeah.
It's that simple,
attention,
Jackie.
Yeah. Just the straight up attention. Not to bring it back to my childhood, but I remember The Wizard of Oz, when I saw that the witch died, I just remember trying to understand. My mother kept saying, well, no, she's actually not dead because she's an actress. I think I was so scared by the whole scene. I was like, well, what happens when you die? Is it all that evil? And she's like, no, but she's an actress. And I kept thinking that there was a hole under the stage that they pulled her through when they, like, I could just, I still have the memory of trying to comprehend
all of that.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the problem, too. I see parents in movie theaters bringing their 2- and 3-year-olds to these inappropriate movies that are rated, PG-13 or even, PG for 2- or 3-year-olds, and they think it's fine for their child. And I see the expressions on the kids. It's terrifying. They can't intellectually assimilate this into their psyche. They just don't have the intellect yet, the development to understand. So, once again, I know the parents may want to be plugged in and watch the movie, but you know what? Get a babysitter and let them stay home and go play or something. I mean, it's ridiculous. I never let my daughter watch TV until she was 5 years old.
Oh, really? So
you
put it into practice.
Oh, absolutely. Well, in Mommy and Me, being the founder of Mommy and Me, we did a lot of, activities, music, art, dance activities. And I didn't feel there was anything on television that was worth, her watching at all. And I believed in play. Play is work for, the work for children, their career. And that's how they learn. That's how they develop. And she played for 5 years. And an imagination, bar none, this young adult now has. But it was amazing to still watch children play.
Yeah.
Because that's what they do. And we're taking that away from them. That's how they naturally develop, is through play. And they're just not doing that anymore.
If you watch this, if you ever, you see this all the time. But when I've caught small children after they've watched TV, they don't look like they're in their body, like their eyes, they're like you want to snap your fingers, like wake up, wake up.
They are dazed.
Yeah.
And it's the truth, and it's the screens, also the light, the frequency of the light in the white light is what affects them, and that's why they even tell adults, before you go to bed, if you're having issues, do not watch television, do not be on the computer, do something that's totally, not technical at all, because that screen really does disturb, sleep patterns.
And I grew up and had a career in television, so go figure. Yeah, so go figure. So your book, Parenting Unplugged, will be out in January.
In January, yes, I'm very excited about it. And yes.
That is so fantastic. And then you are also, as you mentioned, you're founder of Mommy and Me. So yes, if anybody knows play, it is certainly you.
Well, thank you. It's been a journey, and I love it. And I just want to get the word out there to parents to just get back to basics and connect with their children, because that's what our children need.
Right.
Our children need that, as well as our teens. They all need it. So connect with your kids. Unplug and connect.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Cindy Bunin. And your website is?
drcindybunin.com. Thank you, Jackie, so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. I'm Jackie Jordan, and presented by TVGuestspert.com and sponsored by CX2wristband.com. And next week, we've got Eve Michaels will be stepping in and doing. She's the transformational image and beauty consultant, author of Making America Beautiful, and she will be filling these shoes. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great drive home. We'll see you next week.